Alright boys, welcome back to another one. This is a very different one, very unique video. There's no script on this one, nothing. I'm just kind of sending this one, and this is totally just about my life and an update about me. I don't know if you guys care. I feel like I'm supposed to share this video. I don't really want to make this video, but I feel like the Lord's asked me to make it, so you know what, we're gonna make it, and whatever happens, happens. But I have tried to get out of this video. I have really not wanted to do it, but I really feel like I'm supposed to. So here we are. I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm not going to be around the little bushticles at all. I'm going to give you a little backstory. A couple years ago, if you guys didn't know, I got hurt, problems with my brain, cracked my head one too many times on the motorcycles, and I have some issues where I wasn't able to drive for about 2 years. I wasn't able to work for about 2 years, and because of that, our financial situation has been absolutely chalked. And before you click off, because I know as soon as people start talking about like finances, I'm not asking for money or anything in this video, so just listen. It's an interesting story, and I think you'll find it enjoyable at my expense. But you know, it is what it is. It's entertaining. So for the last couple years, we've been absolute struggle buses with finances. You know, really the only reason we have survived, you know, we still have our home, we still have a car. Really, I would say it's just because of God. We've been praying like crazy, and we've had things like, you know, random envelopes of cash on the doorsteps, people calling us up out of the blue being like, hey, I feel like I just need to pay your mortgage, and I don't know why, but I just kind of felt like that. And again, I don't really advertise our situation. This is part of why I didn't want to make this video, because I really don't want to come across as like a bum. I feel like as a man, as a father, as a husband, it's my job to provide, and I've been doing my best at that. And if it's not enough, then I just have to lean on the Lord, because I give my 100% every day, or I try to. And outside of that, like, I'm not one to ask. You can probably talk to my family or any of my friends. I have literally in 2 years never asked for a dime from anyone, yet for whatever reason they can feel, you know, they feel compelled to hit us up and be like, yo, I don't know what's going on this month, but I feel like the Lord, we were praying about it, and we want to give you this. And it turns out pretty much month after month, it's exactly what we need to survive. So that's really cool. Over the last 6 months or so, we were trying to get onto what is it called? Like a mortgage assistance company or a mortgage assistance program through our mortgage company. Basically, they had a thing that they actually reached out to us and were like, hey, we would like to give you this opportunity because we know you guys are going through it, and here's this program we have, and it'll help you out a ton. So we applied. They said it would take about 60 days. So we applied for that. Everything was fine. You know, in the beginning they said, hey, like, you might get denied, just, it's fine if you get denied, just rebuttal it, and you know, you'll probably get approved based off your situation down the road. So the 60 days goes by. You know, meanwhile, I'm calling, checking up with them. The whole 60 days, they're like, hey, yeah, we got everything for you. You know, we got your paperwork. Don't worry, it's in the works. Everything's good. Just check back at 60 days, and you know, we should have an answer for you. So I call back on day 60, and then people are like, sir, we lost your paperwork, and you have to reapply. And I was like, huh, well, that's interesting, because you guys told me at the very beginning, you know, not to make any payments on our mortgage during this process because it would throw the process off. And also you told me like 3 times that you had our paperwork, and then now all of a sudden it's gone. And they were like, yeah, don't really know what to tell you, but it's gone. So reapply. It'll take another 2 months, and make sure you don't make any payments during that 2 months. Otherwise it'll throw you off and you won't get on the assistance, and obviously you need the assistance. So yeah, so we reapplied. All right, cool, whatever, it is what it is. That situation sucks, but I guess we're just gonna trust the Lord, and it is what it is, you know. So we reapplied, follow up a few more times, a couple months goes by again, and you know, at the end of that 2 months they go, oh, we do have all your stuff, but now we're gonna deny you, which again we were kind of expecting. So we appealed the denial, and then about 2 weeks go by into that appeal. So if you're tracking timelines here, I'm pushing about 5 months here in this process. And at the end of that 2 weeks, I called. I'm like, hey, just want to check in on our stuff. How's it going? And they said, oh, sir, by the way, the program that you have applied for that's supposed to be really helpful to help keep your house, oh, we don't do that anymore. And actually, we got rid of it in the last couple months, which is interesting to me. Yeah, so by the way, you're super late on your mortgage now, and we're gonna take the house. And so we had a huge moment of panic and kind of freaked out a little bit. I tried to make payments. They wouldn't let me make payments. I had to pay the full balance, which is crazy. Which is crazy to think, you know, because I tried to make payments 2 different times and they denied me. This is all in recording, by the way. They denied me for payments 2 times, which I thought was really interesting, because if they would have taken those payments, I would be current on my mortgage. But because they told me to not do it, then now I'm in foreclosure. You know, very interesting situation we have going on here. Anyway, after praying about it for like 24 hours, because we really had to make a decision really quickly, my wife and I decided, you know what, we're going to sell our house. There's equity in the house. We're going to sell it and we're going to get out. And I have some cool like testimony in this about just that really gave us peace. When this all happened, when they told us, you know, like, we're going to take the house, blah, 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 we had, I don't know, just a few hours to make a decision what we were going to do. And my wife and I were praying, and my wife was just like, man, I just want to read this specific passage out of Exodus for whatever reason. And she opened up the Bible and she started reading through Exodus, where the Israelites are in Egypt and they're trying to get out of Egypt, and God uses Moses to split the Red Sea. And she read through that whole passage, and I remember being like, man, like, we have struggled for so long. My family has been an absolute struggle bus for years. Like, years. We have had so many things happen that have just really been difficult. And I feel like I was just sitting there thinking and praying when my wife was reading, like, Lord, are we standing in front of that sea right now, and like we need to get through that sea, and is this it? You know, like, selling our house, is this going to put us in a position where we can put everything behind us and just move on? And I wasn't really sure. I don't, you know, at the time I didn't have like some crazy revelation of like, yes, this is it. I just was thinking that to myself. And a couple hours go by, I went back to trying to make some videos, you know, and I was working down here, and I was talking to my sister on the phone. And while I was on the phone, my friend called and left me a voicemail. And I remember hanging up with my sister, and the voicemail said, I had talked to him earlier that morning, and I remember he left a voicemail that said, like, hey man, like, sorry, I didn't get to talk to you very long in the morning. I had shared that we were probably going to sell the house, and he said, I'm sorry, you know, like, I didn't really have anything to say. Like, this was a gut punch to me, because he knows how difficult the situation it is for us. And he said, I prayed about it all day, and all I got to say is, like, I just felt like the Lord wanted me to tell you that, like, I think the seas are about to split. And in that moment, man, I just started, like, bawling, because it was, like, total confirmation for me. Like, we had not told him about that, and I had been praying about this specific passage, and my wife decided to read it. And it was this really cool testimony of, like, man, this is what we're supposed to be doing. And I believe that the current desert that we're in, of just financial struggle and just struggle in general, we're getting through it. And I'm not saying that, like, man, we're gonna, you know, no prosperity gospel here of like, man, we're gonna get through, we're gonna be rich. And like, no, like, I believe that there's been crazy lessons that my wife and I have had to learn in this time of just struggle bus. And I think that we're getting through this and on to the next thing. Whatever that is, I have no idea, to be honest. Title of the video. But, you know, after that, I really felt a peace of like, man, all right, let's just sell this house. So Monday is when we got the phone call from our mortgage company that everything was bad and everything was sad and fear and all this stuff. Tuesday, my house was on the market, and, you know, it sold very fast. Very fast. Oh, my. So I have about 30 days left in my house, and then and then we're done. We're done here. Here's where it gets interesting. I don't know what we're doing after that. It's actually kind of wild. You not able to really make payments for a couple years, your credit gets destroyed. So we're in this situation where we're gonna have, the equity from the house, but our credit's destroyed, so nobody will take us as renters. So yeah, it's an interesting little situation we find ourselves in here. And for a long time after I say a long time, but it was probably a day. Right after the house, we got the phone call that we accepted an offer. I signed all the paperwork. It was done. The offer was good too. We had been praying about, specific things that we wanted on the offer to make this transition easier, blah, blah, blah. And we got them all. It was even over asking, but I just felt this giant pit in my stomach. And probably, this is where I raised my daughter. This is the only house my daughter knows. This is pretty much the only house my son knows. We lived, in California for a little while, but this is where my kids grew up. This is the longest place as an adult I've ever lived. And we like this house, and to give it up is hard. And I just remember feeling a little bit bitter and frustrated about that whole situation. I'm like, man, now we gotta, we sold our house, and now what? And I was just reminded of, I was talking about that story earlier about, the Israelites getting through the sea and how it was this amazing deliverance from Egypt. But whether you guys believe in the Bible or God or whatever, this is just interesting stories, I think. And personally, I feel like this is really speaking to me, and maybe you guys just relate to it as a story. I don't know. You know what I mean? But after they get through the sea, it's not long after that. They were supposed to be on an 11-day trip into the promised land, because that's what the Israelites were trying to do. God was trying to take them to the promised land. And they had all these roadblocks in the way, and it was supposed to be this quick little 11-day trip, and they started not trusting the Lord again. And right after they got through the sea, they started not trusting the Lord again. And you know what? They ended up staying in that desert for 40 years. 11-day trip turned into 40 years. And I just really felt man, it is time for me to be grateful. I have no idea. I might be homeless. I might be living in a hotel. I have no idea, but I think it is really important for me to trust again, to go deeper and trust the Lord even more. And I'm absolutely petrified. I have no idea what we're gonna do. I have about 32 days. it's funny. All I can do is laugh. We have about 32 days, man, and then we're pretty much homeless. I mean, we have places to go. It's friends' basements and stuff like that. But no good solution. But I don't know. I'm really focused on trusting right now, and it's not easy, that's for sure. It takes every day. It takes a lot of prayer and focus to try and just not throw up, I guess. And I don't know, I just wanted to share this. I don't know why I wanted to share this. I feel like it's probably important for some reason, but I don't really know. I guess you guys like to know what's going on. I was also reading through Job. If you guys don't know much about Job, in the Bible, Job pretty much gets everything taken away from him. Family dies, he was rich, all of his money gets taken away, he gets super sick. And throughout that book, it continues to say that Job did not blame God. And I think I would like to be like Job. Even if I get everything taken away, my goal is to stay faithful and to honor the Lord through all this. But man, it's a little wild out here, boys. I don't know what to do. Yeah, if you guys have a place. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I don't know. So yeah, we got about 30 days. Content's gonna be pretty normal, I guess this month, the month of end of September, most of October. Content will be pretty normal. After October, I don't know. I might be streaming from a you know, Holiday Inn's pool or something. You know, who knows? I might be streaming out of the back of my car. I mean, I don't know. I think we'll be all right though. So, I guess I leave you with, man, if you guys are believers and you're going through something, like, man, just cling on to him. You know, it is what it is. It sucks. You know, life definitely sucks. But really, where else can you find your strength other than the Lord? And if you're not a believer and you're like, Donk, all of this is just a bunch of hoopla, I want you to know I love you. And, like, also, you know, if you're going through it, I guess, you know, there are other people going through it too. And if you're going through it, and you need someone to talk to, I would love to be that person. You know, I know that as big as I feel like my problems are right now, I know that there are a lot of other people going through even more difficult and significantly worse things. And, you know, when I had the worst, darkest points in my life, I really just wish I had someone to talk to that I felt comfortable with. And I did, but, like, you know, sometimes it just takes some rando on the internet reaching out to you and letting you know. So I don't know if that's you. I would love to help you with whatever's going through. I don't know that I can solve or fix the issue or whatever, but I would, you know, I'm a good listener. So I hope that you guys have a blessed day. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Again, don't know why I made this video, but I love you. I hope you guys have a blessed day. All right, peace.